Hello and welcome to Fresh Face Comics, the comic book podcast where a lifelong comic book reader guides his friends through the world of comics for the first time. My name is Joey Morgan, the aforementioned lifelong reader. With me as always is Jacob Licklider, the aforementioned newbie.
Why do adaptations of the story keep turning Jean Grey into a sexy lamp? Like,
Um,
they keep
hmm,
doing it. It keeps happening.
a question for the ages, my friend. And why
If
is it
the
a
answer
question?
just men, I think it's men.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But we will keep asking that question regardless, because today we are talking about the Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 from the Marvel Masterworks collections. This is, of course, the Dark Phoenix Saga. This is the bulk of... Oh, sorry. Mostly the Dark Phoenix Saga. Partially not, the last couple of issues are not the Dark Phoenix Saga, but yeah, today we're talking about Volume 5. Of course, as always, joining us for our Uncanny X-Men episodes is once again Andrew.
Hey, I'm glad to be back.
Welcome back. Very happy to have you back on, and very happy to be talking about this volume of the Uncanny X-Men. Tossing it over to our fresh reader for this story, Jacob. What is the Uncanny X-Men Marvel Masterworks Volume 5 about?
Uh, so much trauma. Like, I, it is. It is, in one hand, it's kind of the ideotypical hero goes evil story, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that Claremont and Byrne do that aren't codified in the comic story archetype of our good female hero goes evil. Um, Mainly, a lot of Jean's evilness is kind of a trauma response,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
to a lot that she's been going through, and the fact that, let's be honest, as a character, Jean Grey hasn't always had her the most agency, especially I haven't read like 60s X-Men, but there's very much a vibe that Stan Lee wrote Jean Grey as the girl,
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh yeah.
like just the token girl, and that becomes, you know, kind of a problem when you're doing a story like this where it's or when you eventually do a team like this where one, you have more female characters in your book, with the addition of Storm, with sort of just the revamped team. Um, yes, that is only adding a second girl technically, but it's adding something new and something where it's like, well, we need to actually give Jean, I don't want to say a personality, but an actual plot. Like, she needs something to do, and we've given her a lot of that throughout the previous 4 volumes of Claremont's run so far.
Yeah.
And it's all building up to this idea of, okay, should we keep pushing Jean, and what happens when we push too far almost?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
and specifically
Um.
have someone awful push it too far.
Yeah. Um. That is of course also that is of course the Dark Phoenix saga itself. I'm curious also what non-spoiler of course we are in the non-spoiler section, what you made of the stories outside of the Dark Phoenix saga itself.
Like the stuff at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Equally as good, like this fascinating tension in the follow-up. Um, because it's this, we're trying to go back to normal, but we haven't actually defined what the new normal is.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, we're uprooting that new normal in some way, both in the annual and in sort of the two-part and the two-part sort of, I guess, Wolverine focused story. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, no.
they're
It is
very
so
different.
interesting because the thing that sort of like gets the team back into normalcy is the annual. It's the story that comes right after the Dark Phoenix saga, and it is. I always found a really interesting way to set the team to give a sort of new status quo to the team, especially given the kind of story it's there to tell. Although Andrew had an interesting message for us yesterday as he was reading the annual.
True.
And of course
It
we'll.
was not the best.
Oh,
I
no,
like the annual.
no.
I like it a lot. It's great. It's a great annual. But see, here's the thing. Also in between recordings, Andrew has rewatched The Last Stand, and I believe grown to realize that it's actually not good. But Andrew has swapped out one bad opinion for another. Let's see. But
I
will
have
say
to
our
have
private
one at all times.
you do. Our private group chat name was bullying Andrew for his last stand opinions, and now that's no
yes,
longer accurate. It
that's
might
true. Now,
be
now we can bully him for his Uncanny X-Men Annual #4
four
opinion.
opinions.
No, no, guys, ask me what my favorite Spider-Man movie is, and you can bully me again.
Okay,
What is
Andrew,
it?
Andrew, do tell. What is your favorite Spider-Man movie?
3.
I'm gonna shoot myself in the head.
Spider-Man 3.
God, let's get into some blue sky questions.
Let's get into some questions. Let's get into some
Let's get into
questions.
some questions. Kicking off today with the bit. The bit today is who do we go with? Let's start with Kian. Ask Kian the Quark says Phoenix question mark with a picture of from Always Sunny D burning, which is actually quite funny because it's a bird burning. It's funny.
Almost like a phoenix.
Yes, almost like a phoenix. Jamie at Jamie-season7 says Hellfire Club question mark with a picture of Frank Reynolds and I think it's Dennis was in this scene. At a wearing masks at an orgy. I can see that, but why is there a buffet at a goddamn orgy, Frank? It's we have from Rose Panda at Joe, you can read this, says Phoenix question mark with a gif of Big Bird. Love to see it.
Yes.
From Kian, we have finally back to some Doctor Who references. We have Professor X question mark with a picture of Davros from Doctor Who, specifically the Stolen Earth, and he also offered up an alternative Professor X question mark with the little shriveled up thing from SpongeBob that hates chocolate.
Wants chocolate? Yeah.
Or sorry, loves chocolate, right? Or no, hates it. Yeah, hates it. Couldn't think of what it was for a second. I think that's it for the bit for today. On to the rest of the questions. First off, Andrew did reply. Andrew doing art on Blue Sky says my disappointment is immeasurable. It was this great image that Andrew sent to us to announce that his opinion on The Last Stand had changed, with a picture of Wolverine holding dead Jean from The Last Stand, with on Wolverine saying, "Me rewatching it, realizing it doesn't hold up as well," and then on Jean, my beloved childhood favorite movie. Was it actually your favorite movie as a child?
Was it your favorite movie as a kid? Andrew.
It was my favorite movie from the time I was like 12 until last week.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Did somebody hurt you in childhood, buddy? Like, are you okay?
No.
Oh my God.
It was my first X-Men movie. No.
That's crazy.
I have good memories of watching it. I've seen it like probably 24 times.
Oh my God.
Most of those when I was like younger.
I was going to say, when was the last time you rewatched it before rewatching it for this?
7 years ago.
Interesting. Anyway,
yeah.
On to the other regular questions. We have from our friend Marcus at Sir Jedi Sentinel says, of the 4 adaptations of the Dark Phoenix saga, which one did it best? X-Men the Animated Series, X-Men The Last Stand, Wolverine and the X-Men, or Dark Phoenix? The only one I haven't seen is Wolverine and the X-Men. But of course, I mean, the answer is, I think, pretty obviously X-Men the Animated Series. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect adaptation by any means, but it's definitely the best.
Doesn't the animated series actually do the Hellfire Club, but they can't call it, obviously they can't call it the Hellfire Club because children's TV.
What did they call it? I forget.
They're the Circle Club.
That's right. That's right.
The Circle Club.
Gotcha. Let's see. Our friend Kian says, will the MCU's attempt to be 3rd time's the charm? Judge Marcus replied, well, it would actually make it the 5th, if I remember correctly. He goes, I know there's also X-Men and Wolverine and the X-Men, but I was strictly talking about live action. And of course, Andrew jumped in saying, don't forget about the half-second glimpse at the end of Evolution. What is Evolution? I don't know that one, actually.
I think that's like the early 2000s
X-Men Evolution.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cartoon where they're all reimagined as teenagers, and the last episode, Xavier's like, we'll go on to do great things, and it shows Jean as Phoenix for like half a second.
Huh. Interesting. I feel like I've seen. I can vaguely start to remember like the designs of the characters in that adaptation, and I think I could, I don't know, just like vaguely pinpoint what I know about that one already. Anyway, also from
Hang on. I should probably answer Kian's question.
Oh
We
yeah,
didn't
sorry,
even
yeah,
address
sorry,
it.
sorry. You go ahead.
Once again, the answer is probably not until they get someone writing it who's going to allow Jean to be a character first and not turn
Yeah,
her into a sexy goddamn lamp. Stop
you know what
turning.
though? Jean is a decent character in X2, I will say.
Yeah, cool. They
And,
didn't focus on.
and also next in Apocalypse.
Yeah, they just don't focus on her enough to like actually make the Dark Phoenix saga work in either of the films. They don't actually pay attention. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode because I
You
have
know what though? At least X Men Apocalypse does take the time to like foreshadow the Dark Phoenix happening. At least it's like take at least some time to build it up.
very briefly, just very briefly. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode. I have so many issues.
Our friend Sean Franco at Sean Franco says one thing that I will give this movie is that I finally feel like we got to see Magneto fully unleashed. I was talking about Dark Phoenix, that is. He got one great scene of just killing everybody brutally, and finally showed why he's more dangerous than just a guy who can lift up really big things with his mind. The rest of the movie sucks, which is interesting, and I think it's also true for God. I would say for a lot of the Michael Fassbender Magneto appearances. He always just feel like an actual he can be an actual threat. So same for Apocalypse, I'd say. And Jason Feature, he's great in all of them. Michael Fassbender is just fantastic in that role. Jacob here did also share a post about the recording of this episode, specifically calling out that we are entering our 5th year of the podcast. To which we did get some great replies of Andrew saying. Andrew saying, "Me when Jacob says the podcast is going into its 5th year," which is a gif of Tim Allen from the Santa Claus turning into Santa Claus. God, that's so real. That is actually me 4 years ago. Our friend, friends at the System of the Living Dead at Living Dead System says it's been 5 years. A lot of question marks. Yes, or it's going to be rather.
We're entering year 5.
At the time of recording, it's been 4 years and a day. So,
and a day.
Yeah, we are on the 5th year. And then I think our final question for today comes from Rose Panda. Once again, it says, so same question as the last time. How would you personally handle an adaptation of the Dark Phoenix saga? I don't know. I mean, Andrew,
I don't know.
Andrew, you did reply to this. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this.
Yeah, so I wouldn't, as a movie, I wouldn't adapt it because it needs so much room to breathe. It had, 6 years of build-up in the comics? So I think a show is like the only logical answer.
Interesting.
I think you can do it as a movie. Can. However, most film adaptations keep adding other plots.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which, okay, X-Men The Last Stand, at least that makes sense because it's not just trying to adapt one thing. None of those movies are just adapting one thing, even if though that's like the worst decision possible. You call your movie Dark Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And there are like 6 other plots going on. Like everyone's got to have a subplot, and it's like, no, the Dark Phoenix saga works because it's all about Jean.
But Jacob, don't you care about Mystique dying in the Dark Phoenix saga? That thing that definitely happened.
Yeah,
that character that definitely existed at the time of the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, character who existed.
Oh man.
And again, you don't necessarily need to adapt straight. It needs to be this exact team. You can have a different team. I'd argue you need Scott there. Last Stand. You need Scott there through the entire goddamn thing.
It is so funny that James Marsden jumped ship on Last Stand to be in fucking Superman Returns. It's so funny.
It is such a thing. So weird. It's awful.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that does it for questions. Let's hop into some Fresh Face correspondence. It is the part of the show where we get into your comments, your replies to any of the stuff we put out. Fresh Faced one-shots, comics, on podcast platforms, YouTube, anything that you are replying to. So let's jump into some of these. First off, on Spotify, from our friend Jamie, on our last episode for X-Men Volume 4, says, I think because of the bit, Always Sunny should count as adaptive material. Jacob, how do you feel about this?
No.
Jacob, you should do it, though. You should
I'm
watch
not
more Always
doing
Sunny.
it. I
It's so
mean,
good.
maybe, but I'm not. I'm not going to. I'm trying to get through other things right now.
It's true.
One
It's
very
true.
long 120 episode 4 movie things.
Yep. Bonus episode coming out at the end of the year, guys. Definitely, guaranteed. Locking that in right now. Jamie also says, "Oh, and Joey, I have some bad news about what's in the controversy bit of Scott Lobdell's Wikipedia page. Yeah, I did look into that when you posted that comment, Jamie, and that I did not know. So, let's see. Let's see. Anything else? Actually, I don't think we have anything on YouTube either. So I think we
I don't know.
are.
I don't know.
I think
I
that's
haven't
it.
been
Yeah.
keeping up. I have been keeping up. So if we missed something, we apologize. I'm trying to
Yeah.
vamp a little bit so Joey can check.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything. I think we're good, actually. Yeah, so that's it for correspondence. Small correspondence section today. But yeah, I think that does that for our non-spoiler section. Unless we had anything else to add before we hop into spoilers.
Go read it. Go read this. This is actually really good.
It is. It is.
One of the few Marvel books that actually stays in print, at least the Dark Phoenix saga as a whole.
It's true. It's true.
But also the stuff that comes after is equally as interesting.
Yeah, that's also the thing. Like when we talk about adaptations, is like everyone loves the Dark Phoenix saga because it's amazing, obviously. But like, it's arguably only as good as it is because of all the stuff that comes before and after. Like it's context is important. Anyway, we're about to hop into spoilers.
I'm also going to say, I know that the next volume opens with Days of Future Past, so you got this annual and these two, technically three tiny issues in between that are like really all doing really interesting stuff. And if we're going to be honest, people don't talk about them, and they probably should.
Good God, Andrew, you haven't even seen Dark Phoenix. Andrew's back on his bullshit, dear listeners, and has changed his profile picture.
Originally, he was Vinnie Jones as the Juggernaut.
Vinnie Jones as the Juggernaut bitch, and now he has changed his profile picture to Mystique dying in Dark Phoenix. My God, the insanity,
the madness.
Anyway. We're about to hop into spoilers. If you're not sticking around for spoilers, be sure to hop to the end of the episode to find out what we're covering next time on the podcast. It's a very exciting 2-episode block. Can't wait for that. Gonna be lots of fun.
I have a guess, but now I guess I have 2 guesses.
Your guess could still be valid.
They could be. I don't know.
You never know. You never know. This is why I always encourage multiple guesses from you. So, if you're not sticking around for that, though, be sure to check out other things that we have coming out right now on the channel. One-shots, Star Trek things. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/BloodDonutStudios. You can get all kinds of fun things there, like early Star Trek reviews, exclusive Star Trek commentaries, fresh face extras. It's even more of the podcast that you're listening to right now that you love so very, very much. You can get an extra 15 to 30 minutes of every single episode that we put out before we actually hit record, before we continue to record the main episode, that is. God, I'm so tired.
Also, on YouTube, we did put out our anniversary video.
It's true. Yes, our 4th year in a row doing the tier list of all of our protagonists that we've covered throughout Fresh Face Comics and Fresh Face One Shot history. These are all Jacob's opinions, not mine. So if you disagree with any of the opinions there, you can blame him, not me. So, all that said, I think it's time to just hop into spoilers with Volume 5.
Volume 5, yeah.
With the Uncanny X-Men number... Oh, God, what are we doing?
We're at 132. Andrew just changed the image to be closer.
Oh, God, that's terrifying. That's terrifying.
It is horrific. Man.
My God.
My guy.
Jesus, that's... Oh, my God. Anyway. God. Anyway, Uncanny X-Men number 132. And Hellfire is their name. Here we go.
Also, winner of 5 Eagle Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing was winning awards. I don't know what the Eagle
the
Awards are.
run the run is getting big. The run is doing things. So,
So, God, hi, Angel.
hi,
You
Angel.
certainly
Angel,
are a character that exists.
what a fucking vibe he comes in with. He comes in with his big ass angel wings, with like sweatbands on his head and his arms, an orange and black striped tank top with red shorts. Like, what is the vibe? What is the vibe?
It's the vibe. The vibe is April 1980. I think
April
the 80s are here.
April 1980 mutant workout chic. He comes right in and
I
kisses
don't know if
Jean
you
on the
guys have
mouth.
ever seen the panel.
Sorry, what's up, Andrew?
Oh, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the panel that introduces the character Forge later on, but he's literally introduced in like a tank top and really small booty shorts.
What a guy! That's amazing. God, but yeah, Angel comes in, is here to is here to help out our X-Men, or we've gone to Angel for some help.
Because Angel is rich.
Yes,
Angel is a fucking wealthy man.
Yeah,
and like he has a girlfriend who is a model. Like, it's just kind of here, but also he manhandles Scott away so they can get some privacy. Like,
yeah. We are aware of Scott is here to like confide in Angel about the growing threat of whoever is coming after the X-Men. We get a recap of some past events as recap like Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde and Jean.
There's also this interesting note that Scott is actively disobeying Xavier's like orders and wishes. I really like that we're continuing sort of the friction, even if I don't think it entirely comes to a full head by the end of this.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of comes to a head. Jesus, Andrew.
That is a design.
What a vibe. But yeah, no, I mean, it comes to a head because I think where we sort of leave Scott in this volume, or rather, where Scott leaves us. But yeah, we're starting like so like seeds of doubt between Scott and Xavier, and just owing the rest of the X-Men as well. Jean joins Scott up here as Angel flies away.
Also, we should probably mention Angel is a member of the Hellfire Club. Like,
yeah, like just as like a just a public organization.
I don't know if there's anything to be said about a club of old, rich white men, who are secretly industrialists who want to take over the world through unimaginable power and the subjugation of one woman. I wonder if there's anything relevant there to
Nothing at all,
the
Jacob.
world in 1980 as well as the world in
Jacob.
2025.
Jacob, you are a fool. You're trying to imply that comics are political, and we all know that that's not true.
You keep using the word implying when we do this bit.
You imply these things, Jacob.
These aren't implications.
You don't know that.
They are No, I'm pretty sure I do. I know what an implication is. I know how the English language works.
I don't know. I don't think you do. Anyway, so Jean joins Scott up here. Jean does her casual changing her clothes with the power of her mind shit, and then goes to remove Scott's visor, because her powers are now strong enough that she can just kind of casually shut down his powers as she removes the visor. We essentially get it's this is the scene that Last Stand adapts when Scott dies, and it's fitting because Scott definitely dies here too, right? That's what an accurate adaptation does. Yeah.
Well, there's a little death, I guess. No one's gonna get that joke but me, but okay.
Sorry. Got nothing.
Sorry. The joke is that they have sex.
Ah. Okay.
Le petite mort. The little death.
Haha. Anyway, so
My literary mind is wasted.
Is wasted on what? A podcast talking about reading stuff?
Yeah, knowing things like book talk. Apparently, like this is going into a weird. We thought today would be calm, listeners, because because it's the day after Halloween, and two of us had a lot of fun. The other one of us was responsible. God damn it, Andrew! Why must you be the responsible one? Um, um, but yeah, I no, I do. I like where this. I like how this. I like how this entire goddamn story plays out. Like it's
Yeah. We catch up with Wolverine and Nightcrawler, who are searching through the sewers.
mainly it's everyone's going to get into the Hellfire Club from
Mhm,
Wolverine and Nightcrawler from below. Everyone else except Charles, who's stuck at the mansion with
mhm.
Angel, from above. And well, I think John Byrne is having fun designing formal wear for everybody.
Oh
Like,
God, yeah. Everyone is a vibe here. We have Gene and Scott in particular look fantastic. And
and
you know,
it's
so
what's interesting is that they're both simple. Like it's like
yeah,
Gene's very simple. But also Colossus looks great.
mhm,
Like give him a
yeah.
cravat and
I
it
love
works.
Storm's dress. Yeah, it's a great. Everyone is a vibe. It's great. Um, we
It's like, oh, I see why Marvel has the Hellfire Gala be like a yearly or semi-yearly thing just to let the artists go wild and design some fun costumes.
mhm.
Uh,
uh we enter this Hellfire party as they're being watched over by the leading members of the Hellfire Club, with Sebastian Shaw and Jason Wingard here. Watching over Jean and Scott as they arrive. Jason, who joins the party then and begins changing things in Jean's mind, continues to manipulate her as he has been before, changing into this sort of regal garb, and Scott in the back, looking less regal, let's say, in Jean's mind.
Scott looks like a commoner.
He
It's almost
does.
like they're trying to say something.
What would they be
Uh,
trying to say, Jacob?
I don't know, something about Jean being royalty. Um, and fake, and also is convinced she's married to Jason Wingard. Let's like
Yeah. Well, because again, it cannot be overstated enough. Like, Gene is being manipulated through and through here, and it's meant to be uncomfortable. It's meant to be like, yeah, no, Gene is being taken on this mental trip, and is and can't do anything to free herself right now. It's great. It's great. We have Jean transformed then into the Black Queen as she attacks Scott as he follows her. At this point, the rest of the X-Men leap into action. Storm and Colossus chasing after Scott and Jean, being
we also
stopped.
get
Then
the big reveal that like Jason Wingard is in fact the villain mastermind. Like
Mhm.
just casually on a panel,
Yeah,
just casual reveals. It's not important.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
so much
yeah,
more going on.
yes,
Um,
yeah. Um, yeah, so he's mastermind. We have Sebastian Shaw here fighting Colossus. He's a physical match for him in every way. Storm joins the fight as well. Wolverine and Nightcrawler are stopped by, which one is this? I forget his name.
Harry Leland,
There we
the,
go.
the one who is uh, he apparently can just increase mass. Like he makes Wolverine heavy and fall through the floor back into the sewers.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun power. Um, Fight continues for the rest of the issue until almost all of our X-Men are captured and taken to Mastermind and Jean. We have Storm, Nightcrawler, Scott, and Colossus here, all thrown into this office here as Wolverine is left down in the sewers. to fight for himself, and that is our great cliffhanger. I love that final panel of Wolverine. It's just one of Byrne's best. I really love that image of him.
And
But
it's
that's
really interesting because it's very explicit that throughout this entire arc is that Mastermind has a hold over Jean's mind. Like, she's being violated. Like,
Mhm.
and what's fascinating is what happens when she eventually becomes Dark Phoenix, because we have the trope, right, of your female comic book character becoming evil and getting a sexy costume to go with it.
Mhm.
I find it fascinating that the sexy costume for Jean is the she is under someone's control and is basically being is literally being turned into a sex object, like
Mhm. Yeah,
for
yeah.
Jason Wingard. Because let's be honest, that's what this is. That's what this
Mhm.
is, and I think
Yeah.
that's kind of why a lot of the adaptations don't work, because they take away a lot of that subtext.
But Jacob,
Um,
you just said Jean is turned into a sex object in the movies, so therefore,
no, 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 she's turned
uh,
into a sexy lamp. She's not.
this is a joke, Jacob.
Yes.
Um,
She's
anyway,
not. Listen. I think it's also telling that Emma Frost is out of the picture at this point. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, she doesn't show up this
it's a
entire volume.
really interesting reason that Emma's not here.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was a reason that she was referred to as the White Queen, and now Jean's is the Black Queen. Like, um, but yeah, we go into the Uncanny X-Men number 133. I just love how this issue opens. It's all just an action sequence. It's Wolverine fighting these Hellfire Club guards here, and it's a great sequence. I really really love it. Burton really gets a chance to shine here, and Wolverine gets some real standout moments here. But yeah, Wolverine fighting his way through these guards, past the sewers, into the club. Um, and then we catch up with the rest of our captured X-Men with the rest of the Hellfire Club. Scott has this red sort of mask put over his face so that he can't use his powers, and uh, Jean continues to keep the rest of them captured. Jean, we also get a great panel of like seeing like how Mastermind is showing her like showing them the rest of the X-Men to look to her once again as these like commoners.
And well, not just commoners. Uh, it's it's really quite interesting because Jean is basically stuck in the world of the 1700s, which so
I mean, yeah, we have Storm here.
Storm's a
It's
slave,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I think the moment that is like the most like fucked up thing is that she doesn't call Storm Aurora, she calls her Beauty, not even acknowledging her actual name. It's
Yeah.
just this little decision, this tiny little decision. That, and the then follow up of "I own you,"
Yeah.
um, but also she doesn't see Storm with any hair. Like, her hair's all hidden,
Hmm.
possibly cut off because slave, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of damage happening here to Jean Grey.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. I mean, it's great, obviously, but it is.
It's great drama. It's interesting drama, and it's drama that is telling a story, and I think is in tune with. I think Claremont does, at least in writing this, understands very specific images of white supremacy he's been conjuring with a lot of the Black Queen stuff. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
because let's be honest, a lot of these older gens, like the Hellfire Club, is all white. Like,
Yeah.
everybody there is white. Now, some of that is possibly also just, let's be honest, there's a tendency for comic artists to draw crowds, and they are all very white because, but it also just adds to the rich white, like the gathering of the rich white folks who really, really want to control the world and are gonna oppress anything that isn't a rich white man in some way. Uh,
Anyway, so we have our we have Scott here though still being held behind this like red mask thing. And Scott reflecting on coming back to our scene from last issue, and Jean and Scott establishing, as Jean puts it, a permanent psychic bond between them. A part of Jean being in Scott's head and a part of him in hers. It's going to come up later. It's going to come up again very soon. Scott trying to like reestablish that psychic bond between them.
It's a bond that also just obviously represents their love for each other.
Yeah, of course.
Can I just say, I know a lot of people play up the this love triangle between Scott, Jean, and Wolverine. It's not here yet. Like,
I mean, there have been there. I mean, it's happened in past volumes of like of Wolverine's feelings for Jean, and I think a lot of that is implied in Wolverine's actions here, but it's never brought up explicitly as part
never brought up
of
explicitly,
the
and
story.
it's never. I think a lot of people try to also put that at the heart of the story, and it's not at the heart of the story. Like, the heart of the story is Jean and Scott's love for each other by the end.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all because the Last Stand, because they got rid of Scott in Last Stand, and so Wolverine takes the Scott place in that story in that movie. So
yes, and you can tell there's some dialogue not meant for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Anyway, so meanwhile, we cut back to Banshee and Moira McTaggart. Briefly.
Well, here's the thing: we got to catch up around the entire world. That the world kind of realizes that, oh no, Jean's all these psychic locks that are in Jean's head. These things are slowly undoing themselves, mainly from the repeated abuse.
Yeah,
that's what this is. It's
because we catch that up with Banshee and Moira, and we see Angel and Xavier kind of establishing the same thing. It's very much the you know what's happening with the rest of our characters is all this is with the rest of our like supporting cast as this is happening.
And Charles has the problem of, I can't really lead this team. I can't seem to reestablish my dominance as teacher and leader, and I don't know exactly why. And maybe maybe it's my fault. Maybe people are going, and it's really nice to see Xavier reflect that. Oh no, I might have fucked up, because certain adaptations don't have Xavier fuck up at all, and that's a problem.
It's very possible that it's just because Patrick Stewart is a lovely, charming man, and we can't make Patrick Stewart seem bad even if we tried.
He has played Macbeth. I think we can make him seem bad if we tried.
We're talking about older Patrick Stewart here, though, Jacob.
He played Macbeth in like the 2010s.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I was unaware. Didn't know that. Interesting. Anyway, so we catch back up with Wolverine as he infiltrates the Hellfire Club. He is caught last minute by a guard. And then we get our great sequence of Scott reestablishing this connection with Jean, the psychic bond. Where even in the psychic bond they share, Jean still sees him as a commoner. And we have Scott is literally sword fighting Jason Wingard within this Mind Palace thing here. Great sequence.
Parallel that action with then Logan infiltrating the club and just terrorizing the rich members of the club.
Yeah. I love all the white backgrounds in the psychic battle scene. Just it just adds a lot to that moment. All building up to Jason eventually stabbing Scott and within Jean's mind, and then in our world on the material plane, as it were, Scott just dropping dead there and then. And we get the little exclamation at the end. Cyclops is dead. We go into our next issue, the Uncanny X-Men number 134. The explanation for how this is resolved is it's a pretty cheap cliffhanger, but it's all right.
At the very least, they have Nightcrawler be the one to say Cyclops is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a bit of a silly cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But also, it's very soap opera and we gotta come back next month. Like,
yeah, of course. God, I do love the cover of 134 though. I love the Phoenix background there.
I am trying to.
good
There
shit.
are way too many good covers in this volume that I'm like, I don't know which one you're going to use for the thumbnail. Probably 135, maybe,
Maybe.
or
I've always
maybe
been a huge
136.
I'm a huge fan of 137. That's one of my all-time favorite X-Men covers. Um, I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
Yeah,
I'll figure it
the
out
Omni
soon.
uses 137 as the cover, which is a nice touch.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a perfect cover. I love that one. Anyway, getting into 134 though, this is Too Late, the Heroes. It's a good title. But Scott is just still alive. Period. Like like he only
no,
died.
no, no. See, his astral form got killed, and
Yes,
his physical body has been weakened,
but
and you get the big.
Nightcrawler still thought he actually just straight up died. So
And he's also
it is just funny that the last line of the previous issue is Cyclops is dead, said by Nightcrawler, and the first line said by a character in the next issue is Nightcrawler once again saying, "Storm, Colossus, look, Cyclops is alive."
Cyclops is alive.
So,
X-Men. The last scene would be improved is if they killed off Scott, and then immediate next scene. Look,
brought him
guys,
back. Brought him back a minute later. Oh my god, that is funny.
And Alan Cumming is just there as Nightcrawler just to say it.
Yes, Alan Cumming comes back for the one scene to exclaim that Scott Summers is still alive.
Can I just say, I also love the way that I've always have loved the way that Claremont does recaps. Like he's so goddamn efficient this entire arc, like with his recaps. Like even in this one, we basically get 2 pages of 2 pages of recap, but there is so much crammed into just these 2 pages where you like have that great mix of the 3 panels of the team as heroes, the team as how Jean sees them, and then Black Queen Jean regular
Jean switching
like
back
these.
and forth, Jason Wingard and Mastermind switching back and forth. It's nice. And the narration is engaging. It is one of those things though where like when you're reading a trade and you're reading all these issues together, it can wear on you a little bit because you're like, I just read these fucking issues. But it's not a huge deal. Certainly wouldn't have been a problem at the time. But all this recap leading up to Wolverine eventually bursting into the room with the rest of our X-Men. Jason sends Jean after Wolverine as he begins to work on freeing the rest of our X-Men. Scott's lock is broken
Specifically by Jean.
By Jean, yeah. Just this great little hint that she's still in there fighting to break through.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It's good stuff. But yeah.
And we get a great... Basically, I know it's not a lightning bolt, but basically the D&D spell lightning bolt, where you just get that blast in a line and the rest of the X-Men are freed immediately.
Yeah.
And this issue, we should say this issue is the big conclusion to like all of the Hellfire Club stuff.
Yeah.
And it's what I love about it is Claremont does the thing where a lot of characters are paralleled in who they face off against, and as well as some foreshadowing for things to come. Like there's a moment later on where a Senator Robert Kelly is mentioned, who is, I believe, going to become very important in the next volume. I think.
You'll see.
Because isn't he? I think he's the one who gets shot in Days of Future Past that they had to change for the film, right? Or am I crazy?
Jacob. Yes. Sorry, I was a little distracted there. Sorry. Trying to quiet down things in my recording space. Anyway. But
yeah, there's just a lot of interesting foreshadowing, but as well as once again another issue that is a lot of action, like a ton of action that works. It works well, and all the characters are paralleled, and I don't know. It's nice to see some old white men in fancy antiquity clothes get beaten up. There's something really fun about that.
yeah, this action sequence sort of like culminates to Sebastian Shaw trying to get away, Nightcrawler stopping him, and then we do a quick cutaway because Beast becomes aware of this police report at the Hellfire Club. This report of an attack there, and so he springs into action as we cut back to the rest of our X-Men fighting
But I
off.
say I find it fascinating that the Avengers are like the approved authority superheroes almost, like
Mm-hmm.
in the way, at least in the way that Claremont's writing them. I don't know if that's general uh Marvel continuity, like their position in Marvel and as a whole. Uh, because weirdly enough, we haven't done much Avengers stuff outside of Civil War, and the less said about Civil War, the better.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah. Beast finds out about this, springs into action. We continue our fight with the rest of the Hellfire Club. We see individual. It is nice that we have like larger standing members of the Hellfire Club for like to fight like each individual X-Man. That's fun to see. We have moments for
I
like
like
for
I like that that Sebastian Shaw kind of gets used as like a ball to be juggled
yes.
almost.
Oh, by Nightcrawler there. Yeah, yeah, it's fun. Um, we get to see Scott trying to calm down the party guests. I do like that once again, just one of those great panels that bring us to draw of like what is actually happening and what the people are seeing. Like Scott is like trying to like calm people down, but all the guests see it as like him attacking them. That's
Then
just
the lights go out,
mhm,
like the power gets cut, lights go out, and now we're fighting in the dark.
mhm.
Uh,
And now Jean is beginning to break through. Uh, and we get to see Mastermind sort of like retreat as Jean like pins him up against a wall, begins to like lash out at him.
Once again, we should say, I'm just checking. Bob Sharon is on colors for this issue,
Mhm.
and they're fantastic. Like just this image of Jean coming out of the
Oh
shadows,
yeah.
like terrified,
Yeah,
like but also being the one that's like, well, you fucking wanted power, so have it.
yeah,
And
and I just love the visual of her invading his mind for once. It's just it's a great visual. Um,
only leaving
Essentially,
him broken on the floor, like
yeah,
possibly
and
dead.
mhm.
Um,
Jean then escapes, joins the rest of the X-Men and as they begin escaping, Jean's so this is the moment where the Dark Phoenix saga shifts and changes, and we get to start building up our finale here. As Jean's powers are unleashed, her breaking
and
through.
Jean knows it's coming. Jean has this feeling. Jean wants to get away, and is just like, I can't. Like, no
Mhm,
one can help me. Something's going wrong.
yeah,
Because they can't. So everyone gets on the plane, and uh, it's everyone leaving, and just suddenly, Jean becomes Phoenix.
yes.
Or
Well, the Dark Phoenix. It's the iconic red suit for Phoenix. As this ship explodes in the air as she turns into Phoenix. That is the end of the issue. It's a great cliffhanger. It takes us into Uncanny X-Men number 135 with an amazing cover where Jean, as the Dark Phoenix, is breaking apart the X-Men logo. It's just a great visual. Um,
um, talk about the Phoenix costume because I don't think we've actually talked about it.
yeah, go ahead.
I think it really works. Like it is also it's the costume that covers the most skin on Jean, if you've noticed. Like,
Yeah.
which is fascinating because this thing has been adapted to live action film twice,
Mhm.
and neither adaptation I get does this costume or any costumes. Now, like the Last Stand obviously is in this era where they don't want to do any superhero costumes. Like they everybody's wearing basically their clothes, or the uniforms are those leather ones that I think are Morrison inspired, but
Yeah,
eh,
yeah.
they're uniforms, and it's like, give me. I hate the line. Oh, what did you expect? Yellow spandex? I'm like, yes, yes. No, give me. It,
You cannot
we
deny
can
it is a
have.
fun. It is a funny ass line though. I do
It's a
like it.
funny ass line, but I'm like, I don't like that thing. Whereas this is a costume that says a lot about where Jean is as a character
Mhm.
and
I mean,
what's
so is
happening.
the green one. I adore the green one personally. I love that one. It's my favorite.
Yeah, but I think
Um,
the way this one represents the abuse by literally covering everything up, like
yeah, yeah.
it is a full
Um,
body suit. The only
mhm.
thing that is uncovered is her head,
Yeah.
and
And what you can see of her head and her hair, is just completely unhinged and wild. And I love the way, especially when you start getting into this actual issue. I love the panel on that second page, where she's tossing all the X-Men out of her way, and her hair is just literally this fiery mass behind her, completely unleashed. It's so cool. But yeah, actually getting into the issue, that is of course where we begin. The ship explodes. We send our X-Men flying away as Jean is fully unleashed as the Dark Phoenix. We have our X-Men trying to recover here. This sort of begins going into a fight sequence where you can just so tell that like the entire team is trying to not hurt Jean, but like they do have to defend themselves, and it because they're not actually trying to fight her. You know, of course, she is tossing them around like rag dolls. It's a great sequence. Byrne really gets to shine here on art.
it's also very much like this. This is Jean. Like
Mhm.
it's a Jean who is broken, but it is Jean Grey, and that's going to be important because this is also the issue where some stuff happens. Like,
You're telling me some stuff happens in an issue of X-Men?
Oh yeah.
sorry,
I am a fan of things happening.
things. Okay, well, this is where one very the this is the point where the point of no return happens in this
Yeah.
issue,
Mhm.
and I'm sure we'll talk about how the story in a whole was going to end, obviously, because they
Mhm. Well, yeah, we're gonna
eventually
have to with what's
included that.
included in the Masterworks. Yeah. Um,
But the change is fascinating.
yeah. We then also get a scene with Sebastian Shaw and yes, Robert Kelly, who we see has connections with the Hellfire Club. We have the senator here trying to get the police involved in whatever the fuck's happening with Phoenix here, as if they can do anything about it. We see, I love this next page then, where we see like the Marvel universe reacting to all this. We have the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer up in space is seeing this shit, or
I mean,
sensing it rather.
specifically because Phoenix leaves Earth.
Yeah,
Phoenix's destiny is in the stars.
yeah.
Uh, and it's I do love that. I think Silver Surfer is also just here because the editor's note makes me think like the editor's note of for more on the Silver Surfer, see Epic Illustrated #1. Oh,
Mhm.
they
Gotta
just
sell a
launched
new
a Silver Surfer
gotta sell a
Red
new
book.
book. Gotta sell a new book, man.
Gotta sell
God, what are comic books if not ads for other comic books?
comic books.
Um, so we have Beast arriving on the scene here to try to help our X-Men recover. We do a little catch up with Angel, Xavier, Moira, and Banshee as they're all tracking all tracking this disturbance here as Jean leaves Earth. We follow then Jean into space, and my God, the scene that follows. Jean destroys Jean does a genocide. Jean does a genocide, and that's going to be important going forward. But yeah, Jean destroys entire planets.
Well, yeah. So around, she absorbs the energy of a star
Mhm.
and consumes it. Orbiting the star is a system of 11 planets. The fourth is inhabited by an ancient, peace-loving civilization. So, Jean destroys 11 planets, one of which is inhabited.
Mhm.
Um, and I love the way the deaths are described. But half the world dies in its sleep. They are the lucky ones.
Oh, oh, God, it's so good. Um,
And it's
ugh,
this whole idea that Jean is trying to reach the high instability of that original getting the Phoenix energy way, way back in Volume 2. Like,
yeah, yeah. Um,
and I
this,
think this is an aspect that needs to be in the adaptations that just they never do, and they don't
mhm.
ever try to find like
Well,
I
because
think Dark
I
Phoenix
mean,
tries.
this is the sin. Like this is the thing that makes Jean as a character have to die in the end. Like this is what we have to face the consequences of, and not having a scene like this in any of the adaptations, it makes her death. I don't want to say pointless, but it certainly doesn't feel. It makes it feel less earned, you know.
The death doesn't feel like it feels like there is another way. Like there are
Yeah,
other ways. Like you didn't you didn't push it far enough. And of course, some of this is you didn't have Jean just you didn't have Jean rise high enough to fall. Like the fall in Last Stand and Dark Phoenix are just kind of like they feel like minor stumbles.
when she kills Xavier. I mean, for both the adaptations, the sin for both of them is just she kills a fellow X-Man. For Last Stand, it's Xavier. For Dark Phoenix, it's Mystique. Like that's it.
It's uh, and it doesn't feel the adaptations also very much explicitly have her not be in control or treat her as responsible for her actions. Like it's
Mhm.
that
And,
like
and the thing is, like, she is responsible here. Like
she
it's
knows she's doing it.
yeah, she's the one that broke free. Like breaking free from Mastermind's control. It causes this lash out, and it makes her, for once, fully in control of her actions. And that is why there needs to be justice for this. And she's, of course, this destruction is also being followed by Imperials, Lilandra's people, who see this destruction, send a message to the Princess Lilandra
That would be
and our
Empress Lilandra. She
Empress
was
Lilandra.
she was I find it so funny that she was crowned off screen. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we weren't following Xavier Lilandra. It's just like this
yeah,
coronation. You just do it just happens off screen. It's fine. It's
yeah.
cool.
If
Yeah.
Xavier's not there, it's not part of the story, except for right now. They
Except for
send a
right now.
message. They send a message to the Landra before swiftly being vaporized, and we then end our issue. Then catching up with the X-Men as they recuperate from this attack,
It's this perfect everything is fucked ending. Like you really do
yeah,
feel that
yeah,
everything's fucked. Everything like no one knows what to do. And it's like, oh shit, she's coming back to Earth.
mhm,
Like,
yeah.
what are we gonna do? Um,
Mhm. Which brings us into the Uncanny X-Men
oh,
number 136. God, what a cover! Love that one. But here we
Uh, b-
go. Child of Light and Darkness.
before
Yes,
we go
Andrew.
on,
What's up?
oh yeah, before we go on, I want to say that last issue, the issue 135, I think that's why I wouldn't want to adapt it into a movie again. Because the pacing is so tight and compact that it all culminates there to the rising action we're about to get here. And it's like, I don't think that works as well in movie form because you have the setup to the setup, and then finally it like starts rising.
That's fair. It does feed itself more into serialization.
a
Which is
serial format. It's this 3 act structure. I think there might be a way to do it as a film,
mhm.
but you have to actually commit, and you gotta. Here's the thing. I even think you can't like there are things you can do wild changes to. I suppose you could take out some of the space stuff. Or you could substitute the Hellfire Club stuff with something else.
Maybe. Uh,
But you have to have it thematically it has to be similar enough. Like you could you could also and I'm sure you could also simplify the space stuff. Like the conclusion in 137 to the arc, you could certainly simplify that if you're adapting it. Like there are things that could simplify to make your
Mhm.
conclusion work. Um, to fit a movie format, that is. But
Yeah.
you need a through line. You need a through line, and it needs to be Gene. Gene needs to be the one in control doing it. Like,
Yeah.
because
Um,
that's kind of the point.
yeah. Yeah. It is, of course, where we pick up. Gene's still in control, still causing this destruction. A lot of the opening of this issue is the Marvel Universe just reacting to what is happening. Lilandra, of course, deciding to do something about this. We have
Deciding that Phoenix must be destroyed.
mhm.
Like,
We have the President of the United States contacting the Avengers, or rather Jarvis here. uh,
yeah. The president Bill Harder, because he looks kind of like Clinton, even though
yeah,
Clinton won't be for another decade or so.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like,
Um, but yeah, we have him calling the Avengers, asking to do something about it. Beast is not there, of course, because he is helping the X-Men. We have our X-Men preparing for the inevitable battle coming their way. I just like seeing these scenes of all the X-Men like reckoning with what they're going to have to deal with. As Scott, especially, who is
it's very
going to
much
fuck through it.
it's that internal conflict of I think we've got to kill this woman, guys. But
Yeah,
she's our friend, and we don't want to do that. Um, and then the choice is made of where Jean goes when she gets back to Earth.
yeah, yeah. She goes home.
Which
She
she goes
goes back
home, which is again so
to her
fascinating
family
that one of the films killed off her parents technically, and then
in the
didn't.
opening scene.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
did you read the comic you're supposed to be adapting? I
yeah.
don't think you did.
To be fair, the Last Stand did this as well by just having the parents be non-existent in the movie aside from the opening scene.
This is true. I can be mad at both of them. They're by the same writer.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
like,
They let him do it twice.
and the second time they let him direct the damn thing, even
Yeah.
though he's not really a director. Like, we'll
So
get
anyway,
to it. We'll get to all of my problems.
So Jean goes home. Jean goes home. Sees her parents, her sister. Um,
And I love I love what comes out of Jean's mouth versus what's going on in her head, where this is where we really, really get into her head, where she is just this scared little girl who is in control but is lashing out because she's been abused, and so she's trying to go home to her parents, and
mhm,
who are who are of course happy to see her. They're the jubilations, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't work for Jean because that doesn't feel the void of what's happened to her.
yeah.
And I love it. And there's a lot. It's a lot that's being said if you're just looking between the lines. Uh, and her parents obviously can't understand. And you think that Jean's going to lash out and kill them,
Mhm. Yeah, it's very much built up that way.
and she
Um,
doesn't.
yeah, yeah.
She turns
Um,
their plant into a crystal, which I'm like, okay, cool. Love Flexi crazy not comic cosmic powers,
yeah.
and she jumps out the window, and
And then
it's
she's attacked by the X-Men, of course.
yeah, and then she's
Um,
checked by the X-Men, because we've got to get to a point because the story's going to end next issue, and even though next issue has the double length,
mhm,
got to get through some stuff.
yeah. Um, each X-Man individually has a turn going at Jean, trying to get her to stop. She destroys the little device
They
that
have this
Nightcrawler.
yeah, this like psychic dampener that Beast and Nightcrawler had, or that Beast made, and Nightcrawler put on her head.
Mhm.
Um,
She destroys it. Traps all the X-Men in this sort of psychic field until Scott shows up. We get this great little like heart to heart scene between them.
I love how Scott just outright says, "I came to talk. I won't listen. Then kill me. I can't stop you. I won't even try. Be true to your malefic destiny, Phoenix. Kill me if you can."
yeah. Um,
And it's this terrible. It's what gets through. It's what gets through to her.
it's it's
And
it's it's working until Charles fucking Xavier shows up, and mind blasts the fuck out of her.
Mind blasts and monologues about it. Charles.
What an ass. We love him.
Like,
Um,
it's like you don't like to tell a disabled character they deserve to be pushed out of their wheelchair, but you deserve to be pushed out of your wheelchair, you bastard.
yo. We get this great mental battle then between Jean and Xavier, or rather specifically the Phoenix and Xavier, the force that is the Phoenix within her. Charles subduing that, bringing Jean back to herself. Jean's parents arriving in the midst of all this, and everything seems to be going well until the X-Men are all zapped away, taken who knows where, leaving Jean's family stranded here and ending our issue, taking us into the Uncanny X-Men number 137.
So they propose, like Scott proposes, we should say, like they are now engaged to be married for a wedding that's never going to come,
Yeah,
because this is a fucking tragedy.
yeah, yeah.
So
So yeah, 137. So okay, Jacob, did you expect to see the Watcher here on this first page?
no, I didn't. Okay,
It's an amazing opening.
it's a terrible problem. Also, like, what the fuck are you? What the fuck is your point? Why do you exist?
So
Like,
I know we did the one what if issue way back during one of the Daredevil volumes we covered. What do you know? Have you read or seen anything of the Watcher other than that?
not really. I know that
Okay.
he's like the hair. He's like watches the universe or some cosmic Jack Kirby bullshit. Like,
He's amazing. I love him. He yeah. Essentially, like if he's here, shit's about to go down because he is here to witness a horrific event.
um,
Essentially,
yeah. Shall we talk about this? Because I actually do think it's really interesting what the editorial change meant for 137 and 138. So
hmm. You know what?
this is also
Actually, can I propose something? Maybe sort of last minute. Can we talk about
okay.
this issue and Phoenix: The Untold Story side by side?
Uh, yes, we can. It's going to be difficult to me to flip back and forth, but we can make it
I mean,
work.
here's the thing. I don't think there's much to flip back and forth between.
No, no, because it's
We could just talk about the differences between the two. But first, I would like to bring up the fact that, like, Phoenix: The Untold Story, first off, has an amazing fucking cover, but also opens on this little story from Jim Salicrup. First off, titled "She's Dead, Jim," because these guys can't not do their fucking Star
can't
Trek
not
references.
reference Star Trek.
um, but just telling the story of what the fuck happened here. Essentially, it was they were planning out the end of the Dark Phoenix saga, and it was like, cool, Xavier.
Salicrup was leaving the book. For like was leaving the book as he's been the editor for a while now. He's
Mhm.
leaving. A young Louise Simonson
The
was coming on
Queen,
to
my
be the
Queen
editor.
Louise Simonson, love her. Um, but yeah, he's leaving the book, um, and we're going to end the idea is we're going to end the Dark Phoenix saga, and Jean's going to have her powers taken away from her, and those will be the consequences of our actions. But the king, this is almost fitting because he died very recently. The King Jim Shooter fucking comes in and says, guys, she genocided a fucking genocided a solar system. Like, you can't. We have to do something about this, you guys. Like, she can't just get off with a slap on the wrist.
And
So
so much so that even in Chris Claremont's own introduction to this very masterwork, it's like
mhm.
Shooter was right. Like
Yeah, of
Shooter
course.
was right. I was being kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Um, we have to kill her. Now that also does mean I'm very wondering if John Byrne had different art starting to be prepared for 138, because 138 is a fantastic issue. I love it, but it's an
It
entire
is. It is.
flashback.
It's a big old recap issue, and it's
John Byrne did have a different opening page ready for 138.
That does not surprise me.
It's like this really beautiful, serene picture, like Jean standing over a lake and Scott like lovingly watching her from a distance.
Oh, that's nice.
So
but yeah.
I just opened it to it in the back of my Omni. It is included. Yeah,
is it included in my Epic? I don't know.
There's also some other art that he prepared. So, yeah.
I don't know if it's here. Might not
at least that other art that we know exists and is included, and they can reprint.
There it is. I see it. That is nice. Yeah. That's lovely.
It's very nice.
But
obviously things had to be changed. So yeah, let's just. I'm also going to say, I think this is an example of a female character death that doesn't feel like fridging.
No, of course not.
Because
it's as we've been saying this whole time since she broke free from Mastermind's control, like Jean has been making her own choices. She has agency. And even the eventual death coming here, it's still her choice.
It's importantly, it is not to hurt Scott. It is not to hurt Scott. It's not to hurt any of the team.
It does hurt Scott either way, but it is not a decision strictly made to hurt Scott Summers.
It is a decision to save the universe.
You know what's also interesting is the original version of 137 that is included in Phoenix the Untold Story. It's not quite fridging, but Jean has less agency in that version. The decision is kind of made for her, and her power is stripped away. Like overall, this is the better version. What we got is the better version. And God, how many comic book stories can we say that about?
Especially how many comic book stories from before the internet, before, because at least now you can argue some writers are at the very least aware of fridging, and are at least trying not to do it, even though, let's be honest, it happens because some people aren't going to examine their internal biases and are going to include some shit that doesn't work, and editorial's going to write it going to make sure it happens, because sometimes editorial does suck. But this time, editorial is great, and understood what made a story work.
But actually getting into the issue here, we have the fate of the Phoenix. After, of course, a little Watcher introduction here, our X-Men are transported aboard the Imperial ship here, and stand trial for Jean's actions. Lilandra, clearly in pain from having to make this decision, essentially, it determines that Jean has to face the consequences of her actions, and Charles here steps in, challenges these people to a duel of honor, and we begin setting up what will be the bulk of the issue, which is our X-Men versus a collection of people affected by Jean's actions, and only one will survive, as it were. Only one side, that is. Jacob, let's talk about Kree and Skrulls and other Marvel alien races that I don't think you have much exposure to.
So many goddamn alien races in this issue, you are.
I'm assuming you know the Skrulls, right?
I know the Skrulls because they're the ones behind Secret Invasion, and they're the ones that can shapeshift. And I know that they always fight the Kree, right? Like there's a big animosity there.
Yep, we've got the Kree
here. What's really nice about this issue? Those inner politics don't matter. They do not matter.
Yeah.
It's
still fun to talk about, though, because they're big parts of the Marvel universe that we haven't really touched on the podcast yet. So,
look, if we had, there's way too many big parts of the Marvel universe we haven't really touched on yet.
Oh God, yeah. There's a lot.
But yeah,
we have this coalition of aliens sort of like banding together and making this plan to like guarantee that like Jean will not survive. It is a duel of honor, but they do not have to be honorable about it.
But they also they have a day to prepare, and
God, this is where the best scenes of the issue come from.
It's that's just everybody's internal scene of like, how the fuck do I square away everything that has happened, like over this entire story arc?
Yeah.
Like Jean is clearly planning something. Like it is very clear. Kurt is training and is musing upon the fact that he was raised up around basically Holocaust survivors. He was raised around Romani, who, if we're using this being set in, say, the late 70s, early 80s, he would be coming up in the 50s. Like, so there would be a lot of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah.
The Romani were a people very much underwent their own genocide, and it's interesting. He also loses his grip and has to be caught by Angel, who is here.
Yeah,
Hi,
Angel, who Claremont is so clearly just setting up to be like a permanent member of the team at this point. That's really nice to see. We have.
I feel like Claremont wants to do some stuff with Angel. Like, let's examine what it means for him to be such a wealthy bastard, but he's just like, I can't do that yet. So
he kind of just needs to be like a background character for now, and he's not a bad character by any means. Just he's just kind of there for now. We have Logan here preparing. This is, I think, also once again where Claremont just does this brilliant sort of subtext of like all the sort of feelings that Logan has had for Jean this whole time. It's not explicitly stated, but it's it's done well, and you can tell that it's there still. You have Hank preparing here in a bath. Good for Hank.
Hank's also going to get a massage.
I love it. I love it. You get all the scenes after this. Jean, contemplating her demise. Nightcrawler and Angel training. Logan, preparing both mentally and physically. Hank's just having a bath. He's getting a massage. He's having a good time. He's having. Peter also preparing in his own way. Storm preparing. I love Storm's inner monologue here. It says, "Dawn on Earth that is marked by the eternal beauty of the sunrise. Here by the chime of an alarm, I prefer the sunrise." It's nice. And then we get essentially the goodbye scene before it even happens. Really, Scott staring out into space, and Jean coming here to talk to him before the battle. Jean is now dressed in her Marvel Girl costume, which I think is a nice little callback. A callback to simpler times, as it were.
And specifically to be a rejection of Phoenix and the fact that they do love each other, and maybe they'll be all right. Spoiler alert, they won't.
Do tell. But yeah, get the sweet scene between them before the battle begins, before we are transported to the moon. And this battle begins as the X-Men prepare for this battle. What follows is such a long fight scene. I think to describe it in detail would be strange to do, to say the least.
It is an incredibly extended battle royale between the X-Men and a bunch of aliens.
It's great action.
Once again, much like the fights in the Hellfire Club, I will argue it is a lot of action using to reveal where the characters are even further and how they're feeling about Jean and protecting Jean, and they're all on a side. I love that Logan and Beast are the ones that are the most on it's got to be Jean's decision of whatever the hell happens. Like,
yeah.
that is an idea that is reinforced so
I mean,
much.
Beast being one of the original X-Men, especially, who's known Jean the longest here. It's great, and Logan also just his personal connection to Jean as it is. Like it's nice. It's great to see. Battle actually begins. There's some good twists and turns throughout. We have a shapeshifter in here that ends up causing some problems in particular with Storm. I love the moment when Logan just stumbles on the Watcher here. He just stumbles on a giant screen with the Watcher. And the Watcher's like, no, go the fuck away.
So I'm going to catapult you through time and make you have an existential crisis.
Yep.
Shoot. It is such a weird thing.
We get Storm is a Skrull, so Logan fights the Skrull. Once again, it's very similar to the Hellfire Club fight, with like every X-Man just having like at least like one person to take on themselves. It's great to see. Fight goes on for a while. We get some great moments between Scott and Jean here as they're able to like hide themselves momentarily. And
I love this little flashback to the flagship where Xavier is, and Xavier is like, oh no,
there's no one named Xavier.
Shut up, Siri.
Jacob, learn to keep that shit off. Anyway.
No, but my point is, it's like Xavier's like, oh no, I fucked up again.
It's
again.
He's the worst fucking leader ever. Oh my god.
And here's the thing. Charles, just trust Scott. Scott knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But importantly, so does Jean. As that is very much the whole point of this issue. That Jean can again make this decision herself. As Scott and Jean go back into battle. There is this attack on the Imperial ship here, as Lilandra and Xavier are rocked to the side. Phoenix is reborn. Jean makes the decision to turn back into Phoenix. It is her power. Again, I love the way that Claremont writes just the agency of it all here. Scott is kind of just like left to watch on in horror as he knows what is about to happen. Jean being unleashed again, slowly turning once again into Dark Phoenix momentarily as we have the red suit coming out, and this eventual build up to Jean and Scott together before Jean sacrifices herself. And it's important that there isn't like an epilogue scene to this issue. The epilogue scene is with the Watcher, but the epilogue for the X-Men will come next issue, of course. As it stands, Scott is left with this shock and horror, and this great last line here. You must have picked the minds of the Kree and Skrull observers. Observed what ancient weapons were hidden here. Then you use your fight with the X-Men to drain you enough of energy to make you vulnerable. And finally, when you were ready, Jean. He just left there. The Watcher is the Watcher. Has his little musings on Jean's sacrifice. And the issue ends.
Human it is, and the issue ends. And
and then guys, wait, hold up! I can win a Toys R Us shopping spree. It's all right. I don't have to worry about the death of Jean Grey anymore. I can win a Toys R Us shopping spree. Such a wild cover to include that add-on for the next one. It's amazing. Oh my god. X-Men 138.
So shall we say about where things change?
Yes. Of course. Yeah. As of course revealed in Phoenix: The Untold Story, which was published in '84, by the way. Only 4 years after the Dark Phoenix saga ended. Like this is something that clearly fans were clamoring for at the time, because I'm sure that the stories of the other version where Jean Grey lived was definitely out there. and is certainly talked about at length by Claremont and Sally Krupp, and I'm sure John Byrne as well. So yeah, they're go ahead. Sorry.
Basically, everything plays out the same right until just before Jean and Scott are on their own. Instead of going to find a weapon, they make a last stand, and in like a page, win. Like,
Yeah, it almost feels cheap, doesn't it? Like,
It almost feels like the alternate ending in itself, even though it was made first.
right? Yeah, it's a strange
like
ending. Like,
and they even undercut it. Like, they
and
decide, like Lamondre decides, no, I'll actually be kind. I will just forcibly remove her powers.
yeah,
Like,
and you know what? Maybe it only feels weird because we've only ever lived with the version where she dies. Maybe it only feels weird because of that. I don't know if I would actually have the same criticism of this original ending that I do. If it had been what we had, but I don't know. It's such a bizarre way to end the story, and I'm glad they didn't go with it. So I don't know. There's that.
it gets to reference Metropolis visually at one point.
Yeah.
With when Jean's losing her powers, and it tries to end on a angry note of like, you've done enough, and it's like, you've done it. I don't know. I feel like I would be like, Scott says you've done enough as like the last line of the issue,
Mm-hmm.
and my brain is just like, Scott, she genocided a planet, Scott.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Which again is where
where
the fucking legend Jim Shooter comes in and says, yes, this is what happened, and this is why we need to reckon with this in this way. And this is also why it's not enough for Jean to die and to face these consequences. The X-Men need to be rocked by this as well. So our next issue cover promises Cyclops leaving the X-Men, and spoilers, that's exactly what fucking happens. It's great. There are actual like repercussions to this, and
Jean's one of those characters who I believe her death was intended to be permanent. Like,
yeah. I mean, it was permanent for a very long time.
So I was gonna say she was one that stays dead for a while.
Yeah, she actually stayed that way for a hot minute. But comics gonna comics,
5 years, I think.
Yeah,
5 years. Yeah, that's a minute. That's a hot minute.
It is quite funny though. The Untold Story being published in 84, and then being like, she has stayed that way permanently, and God, we're so happy that she has stayed that way. It's very fun. Also, the first page of X-Men 138 features the Marvel Universe breaking. Jean Grey was born in 1956, apparently, which means that she was 7 years old when the X-Men started. Or sorry, yeah. Or sorry, wait. Yes.
Yes,
7. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, God, sliding time scale of comics.
I cannot wait. I can't wait to talk about certain things that within this block we're going to have some fascinating musings on the sliding time scale of the Marvel Universe, and I can't wait to talk about a certain thing we have coming up later, Jacob.
God. Is it Jessica Jones? Because I know Jessica Jones is a character who was created in the 2000s and inserted then back.
There is some weird some weird shit there, but that's in, I think, one of the later volumes in there. It's like the last volume of the original Alias run.
So it wouldn't be that. Okay.
Yeah.
Something else.
But yeah, no, it just I love it. Jean Grey, 1956 to 1980. So I guess that works out somehow. Anyway, so this is Elegy. It's a recap of the entirety of X-Men history. That's it. That's the issue.
Yes, it is.
It's not a bad thing, but
it also serves as a perfect epilogue. Like, it serves as a great goddamn epilogue.
Well, especially for a character like Jean, who has been here for the entirety of X-Men history. Like,
and it's filtered through the lens of Scott Summers. Like,
yep.
He's the one giving the elegy. He's the one telling about everything. You also get. Can I just say I do love that we get to see John Byrne redrawing some like Kirby stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Very
uh,
good stuff. Yeah, it takes you through the earliest Kirby days, the Kirby and Lee days, to now. And it's nice. There's not much more. There's not a ton for me to add on it than it's a nice recap of X-Men history told by Scott Summers. It ends in Scott officially deciding to leave the X-Men, and it's great. It's a great issue. Yeah, it is. Actually, I'm also curious though, Jacob. And actually, Andrew, I'm not sure if you've read classic Stan Lee X-Men. There is. I'm just curious what you guys make of these early story retellings.
is so clearly I'm trying to tie together a writer's work that is so, I don't want to say antithetical to what Claremont does, but it's a lot goofier. So it's trying to make things work. Like, it's like, oh, Magneto was just so tough with his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and it's like, okay, sure, sure, I totally believe some of this stuff. Or you have ridiculous things like, oh, um, uh, you know, my brother Alex was kidnapped by a living pharaoh. Like, okay,
things that happen.
and yet Claremont is trying his damnedest not to be like, this is ridiculous. This is some ridiculous shit.
I mean, it's important that Claremont doesn't like wink at the audience with this. It's
because I find it interesting.
It's a person's history.
I find it interesting of what Scott chooses to recap in like the last couple of pages of just all the Claremont stuff so far. Like, it's the initial adventure, several other adventures, like are done in like one panel. It's the stuff with it's briefly it's the stuff becoming Phoenix, all the space stuff. Very quickly, very quickly, volumes 3 and a lot of 4, and then what we just did, as well as paralleling Phoenix and Proteus very explicitly, which is like, thank you for that.
Yep.
And by the time we're done, we only have one page left, and it is a whopper of a final page. Like,
yeah,
it's that goodbye, Scott. Hello, Kitty. Like,
yeah, yep.
Hi, Kitty. I'm sorry Kitty, you're stuck on the steps.
Yeah, she's stuck there on the steps. Yes. Yeah, it is this really sweet idea of just in with the new and Kitty joining the X-Men officially, and it's just it's sweet. It's a really sweet ending. And it takes us wonderfully into the Uncanny X-Men Annual number 4, Nightcrawler's Inferno. Andrew, I need the annual takes. I need the annual takes, Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew.
Okay. Yeah. So, it's a worse version of the arcade story from last volume, with Nightcrawler getting together with his sister, with the Inferno thrown into it. It's very weird.
I think it's good. I mean, I can see the similarities with the arcade story. What's up?
I like Doctor Strange in it. He's pretty cool. Like, all the Doctor Strange stuff works for me. It's just the X-Men stuff and the Inferno stuff doesn't flow, in my opinion.
Huh. Interesting. I love especially the opening of this issue. I love first off, the focus on Nightcrawler is great. The inclusion of Kitty into this dynamic here is done really well. As she's first finding her way into the crew.
The art also, it's John Romita Jr. on art.
John Romita Jr., the king. I love him.
Which my brain is like, wait, hang on.
Yep. Yes, he was working back in 1980. Yep. We're at that time. We're in that time frame where both senior and junior were both in the industry.
So you have to credit them separately. Well, I mean, I think people still do credit Junior as Junior.
Yeah.
But like, why? It doesn't. For some reason, that time doesn't compute. It feels like it feels like he should start drawing in the '90s for some reason, even though I
Yeah,
don't
right.
think that's like right.
Yeah. Feels like his father should like have already been like retired by the time he started, right? Like, but yeah,
It's
we have
Nightcrawler's birthday.
it is Nightcrawler's birthday,
Andrew,
and he.
how can you hate a birthday party? It's a great birthday party.
Do you hate birthday parties, Andrew? Is that it?
Did a birthday party kill your
Is this
parents?
the issue? I think it is. No, I love the birthday scene. I love him getting the Wolverine picture. That becomes a running gag as the series goes on. They just end up gifting each other framed photos of themselves.
Amazing.
That's going to be a funny gag.
Yeah. But yeah, Nightcrawler is also given the gift of death as he opens a box and is attacked by weird black stuff that attacks his face and knocks him
out of a crystal figure of himself that explodes. Yes. It's like, oh my god, he's dead. Which I'm like, I feel bad for Storm. This is like her first day of leading the X-Men.
Right? Yes. Storm is officially the leader of the X-Men right now, and yeah, Nightcrawler is down, and nothing. They weren't even on a mission or anything. They were just in their home. Xavier calls in a friend to help look into Nightcrawler's problem. It is the one and only Doctor Strange.
Waltz's Dr. Stephen Strange. In an initial panel that makes him look like the fucking villain, like
right, yeah, for real. What have we read of Strange before on the podcast?
World War Hulk.
World War Hulk. I know there was
and Civil War.
Civil War. He has a small appearance in Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, and there was a Spider-Man appearance or two, but that's about it.
Man. So, do you have any history with Strange outside of that, Jacob?
I've seen Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame, and that's about it. I have not.
You haven't even seen the Doctor Strange
films?
Oh my god! No. Oh man, you're missing out on Sam Raimi being Sam Raimi, Jacob.
Listen. We'll get there eventually.
And Scott Derrickson, who's also a great director. The first one. But yeah. Doctor Strange begins looking into Nightcrawler's problem with the Eye of Agamotto.
Also, I love how it's like, dude, I thought he was a human demon hybrid. It's like, nope, just a dude with a mutation that makes him look like that.
It's just a guy. But yeah, out of the darkness in this room comes Margali of the Winding Road, who attacks Doctor Strange and our X-Men, and they get sort of sucked into this room. So to Storm, Kitty is able to like pull Xavier out of there, but then is like, I'm gonna just see what's happening in here. She goes inside the room that they were dragged into and sees that it is completely empty, and that the rest of our X-Men have been taken to the rest of the story pretty much as we go into the second.
So Xavier's just like screaming in her head, like he's her dad or something, and it's like, Xavier, Charles, don't tell teenager.
Xavier found a new person to assert his control over.
I'm sensing a pattern.
But yeah, we go into the second chapter of the annual then, and we're just in hell. It's just hell. We're just straight up in hell.
A very nice rendition of Dante's Hell from the Inferno. So that's what we're doing for the annual, kind of. Like it is going to be. It's like, hey, how many circles of the 9 circles of hell and the many Malabolgia can we slip in?
I unfortunately, every time I read the word Malabolgia, I can't not think about Doctor Who Minuet in Hell.
Of course you do.
It's just I can't help myself. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're doing Dante's Inferno with the X-Men and descending further and further into hell.
I just love how Doctor Strange is like, it's not actually hell. I've been to hell. This isn't hell. Like,
yeah. so we face a series of like challenges through hell here, take on a number of demons and monsters, and it's fun. It's a good time. A lot of it's action, a lot of it's fun action. Also, Jacob, I'm now reminiscing about this because this is for a while at least the last of the yellow and blue Wolverine suit.
It is.
Yeah. Rip to a real one. I love this suit so much. I love the brown one as well, but I've always been partial to the blue one.
It's the blue one because the blue is like it's such a different color and it like
clashes
with the yellow slightly.
It contrasts better. But
our X-Men keep getting catapulted into different areas of hell because we want to draw as many of the 9 circles as we can. Interestingly, we don't actually depict Lucifer at all.
I wonder if that might have been a bit much for the editorial.
Possibly, yes. There is a lot of like, and we are not saying anything about the Christian faith at all, readers. Like, there are points.
Yeah. And we're still under the comics code, and it's like you can only do so much. They do a lot still, but I guess you can't draw that direct a parallel. But it is
and obviously we don't do any of the here are all the historical figures that Dante Alighieri had beef with and assigned to hell. I say lovingly because it's good social satire. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I also just love when we get into like a little bit of Nightcrawler's backstory right near the end.
Yeah. I mean, as it is the reason that this whole thing is happening. We've got Nightcrawler's sister here, and we delve into like Nightcrawler's childhood, and it's great. I don't know. There's nothing. Andrew, what's wrong with this issue?
Okay, so I've never read the Inferno, so maybe I'm not getting little references, but I've always been so like I like the character of Amanda. She's a good character overall. I've always been so weirded out that she's like, "Oh, Kurt, I didn't tell you. I'm the sister you grew up with." And he's like, "Oh boy, I'm going to keep dating my sister." And it's like, "Oh, okay. Cool, Nightcrawler, you do you, I guess."
I think we just need to stop Chris Claremont from. We need someone to tell Chris Claremont to stop with certain relationship aspects.
Yeah.
Because my guy, Chris, why? But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I love the drama of Kurt killing his brother, and you think this in cold blood, but it isn't. Like it's There's a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I just like Nightcrawler as a character and how much like how sad of a man this poor guy is.
He also hasn't had a lot of issues like directly like about him up to this point.
At the very least, I know there's a mini series coming at some point.
Definitely. I don't know. Good issue, I think, in my opinion. It's a good one. That does leave us with 3 to go, though. So let's get into the Uncanny X-Men number 139. I love the little blurb on the front cover. Welcome to the X-Men, Kitty Pryde. Hope you survive the experience.
Also, this is the first one where Scott isn't in the little
he's not in the little box up top. Yeah, we've got Kitty and Angel added to the lineup officially. So that's cool to see.
But I also find it interesting that this and the next issue aren't really a Kitty story.
They kind of should be. But I mean, there. I mean, obviously we're aware there were a lot of editorial shakeups at the time, and John Byrne is gearing up to leave the book soon. So,
I was going to say, like, he leaves in the middle of like the next volume, doesn't he? Like,
yeah. Basically, he had his own ideas about what he wanted to do with like Days of Future Past and that whole story going forward, and he didn't get his way, so he left. But getting into this actual issue here, we open on a Danger Room sequence. I love a classic Danger Room sequence. We got Angel here now, part of the crew. We've got Storm leaving the crew. We got Kitty watching the situation. We got Wolverine in his yellow and brown costume. It's a great costume. I love the blue myself, but this is also a great costume. just a nice little danger room sequence to open us up on. And it goes well for once. It's not a complete disaster. I feel like we often only focus on the danger room up to this point when it's going wrong.
The only thing that's going wrong is that Angel hasn't been training recently because he's been too busy being a little rich kid.
Yeah. So, which just go a long way to show, once again, just how Claremont wants to handle the team dynamic going forward. And it's always just trying to challenge what the team is and what the makeup of that team is and how they work together. So, but after our danger room scene, Nightcrawler brings some refreshments to the team. We get some great conversations among our characters afterwards. We have Kitty's costume here. We have Kitty's name, which I forgot it was this because it does not stick around. They start calling her
starts
Sprite.
as a soda pun. It's like,
yes, they call her Sprite, and she goes, "But I better not hear any cracks about people pulling my tab." It doesn't stick. It doesn't stick.
Her costume. Can we also say her costume is just that's this to the generic '60s X-Men costume again, guys.
Yeah.
For a book that has been designing so many great costumes, like, guys, also just some great casual wear for Kitty as well. Like, that's very practical and tells you about her character.
Yeah.
Let's do something. I also love the reason for the Wolverine costume. Kitty is quite literally just why not? Like,
yeah, why not? It's great. It's great. There are a lot of great Wolverine moments in this issue in particular, one I can't wait to talk about very soon. But Wolverine talks to Xavier then about wanting to go back to Canada for a brief period because he never officially resigned from Alpha Flight, and he'd like to go do that. So he's going to go do that. Xavier sends Nightcrawler to go with him to Canada, and so off they go. Meanwhile, Storm takes Kitty to a dance lesson, which is very nice.
Which is again a great little piece of character moments, like little things like this.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And then we go to Canada.
This is just such a great moment. We have first off Logan and Nightcrawler just doing a home invasion, so that's nice.
The home invasion of Heather McDonald.
Mm-hmm. I love this moment when she calls him Logan. This is the first time he's ever been called Logan. she calls him Logan, and Nightcrawler's like, "Wait, Wolverine? She called you Logan?" He goes, "Yep." Is that your name? Yep. You never told us. You never asked. That's
Are you sure?
That's all it is. It's so good. It's such a good moment.
It's not like an oh no, here's like
here's some like secret backstory of Wolverine or something. It's just they never asked him his real name. So
it's especially funny because in the movies it does feel like it's all secrets and crowded and mystery.
It's like I would have told you if you asked me. It's it's great. It's really great. We begin catching up then with the rest of our Alpha Flight crew.
Yeah, there's also this idea that Wolverine's here to make peace if he can. Like,
yeah. It's just a good place to take his character. I like it. We catch up with the rest of Alpha Flight as they are staking out in this cabin, waiting for something to happen that will be revealed shortly. Wolverine and Nightcrawler arrive to catch up with them. We get a little we get the story as to why Alpha Flight is out here, because there have been attacks. What is it? This kid was stolen. He is... What is he? He's the son of somebody important, and I can't think of who now.
He is the son of a woman called Eileen Parnell. And... So, we have to talk about the villain, because the villain is a character called Wendigo.
Who Wolverine knows. Wolverine knows Wendigo from the days of old. specifically, this is what Wolverine's first appearance, right? That they're referencing here. Pretty sure this
Yes,
is
so
very
they're specifically referencing his first appearance.
yeah.
Also, just well, Wendigo is a particularly spiritual thing in certain like Native American tribes
Yeah, yeah.
that gets pulled and is still used often, even in modern day fantasy fiction, when it really shouldn't be. This isn't quite doing it. Like this is also just doing it. Wendigo, big, strong,
Yeah,
animalistic guy.
just a big monster called the Wendigo. And like, yeah, Wendigo is like, it can be used in the right context if you're using it for like.
Even then, you should probably have us. You should probably have some native people indigenous people on staff to help you. And
fun fact: one of my favorite video games, Until Dawn, does the whole Wendigo thing and actually has Native American people who worked on it. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a great game. But yeah, in this case, just a big old monster called the Wendigo, which whatever is from the 70s.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, what's more interesting is just the character dynamics between Logan and Alpha Flight throughout these two issues.
Yeah, yeah,
and clearly trying to set up Alpha Flight as a spin-off book. Like that's what this feels like.
Andrew, did that close up on Mystique get closer, or am I just misremembering what it was before?
No, you're misremembering. I didn't do anything to it.
God, it just feels like it came closer to my face. That's
no, it's definitely gotten closer, but I don't know if it's gotten any closer than the last time it got closer. Like,
okay, gotcha.
It's very possible that it did, and Andrew is just fucking with us.
Right?
No, unless I forgot, I truly didn't make it closer.
I'm gonna go with the you forgot theory. So
Nice.
So anyway, but yeah, Wolverine's dynamic with Alpha Flight here is just kind of like it's kind of chummy actually. They're kind of chill with each other now at this point. Nightcrawler goes out looking for the Wendigo, and he finds him rather quickly as he is attacked, and that is our cliffhanger for the issue. As we go into the Uncanny X-Men number 140. So, Colossus.
I like that we I like that we bookend this issue of 140 here with a couple pages of stuff, basically stuff back in New York. Though, well, we start with stuff back in New York. We end with still in Canada, and I'm guessing a tease for something much later down the line, because I know what the next issue. Like the next issue is Days of Future Past. I don't think this has anything to do with Days of Future Past.
But yeah, we opening with catching up with Angel and Colossus and Xavier. Another dance lesson with Kitty and Storm. Yeah, just
I love the way Storm deals with this guy who's flirting with her. Just personal rain cloud over the head.
Just a personal rain cloud for the guy. It's nice. But yeah, then the rest of the issue we catch back up with Wolverine and Nightcrawler and Alpha Flight, and Nightcrawler still being attacked by the Wendigo. He is trying to escape as he nears the cabin with Alpha Flight and Wolverine. It is then Alpha Flight and Wolverine versus the Wendigo. Action sequence for most of this that happens until the Wendigo gets away.
We get a couple of little flashbacks of why Wolverine left.
Yes, yeah.
Like this idea that he's been turned into a killing machine because of the adamantium skeleton.
Oh god, now it got closer. Fuck, Jacob, it got closer.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it got closer.
Oh god. Oh no. Jesus.
That was just Jennifer Lawrence's eye with those contacts in.
Blue Jennifer Lawrence with the yellow contact as she's being killed in dark.
I will say, I find it fascinating that we're still dealing with Wolverine as the claws are a byproduct of the adamantium skeleton and not like the physical bone claws. That does that become a comic thing? I know this is a thing that
does it? I can't think.
In like 2001, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so after.
Yeah, well after Claremont. But yeah, Fight continues with the Wendigo. Then, this is a great. I know I prefer the yellow and blue suit, but I think this is a great fight to show off the color contrast in the new Wolverine suit when he's fighting the Wendigo. It just looks great. It's drawn amazingly here. It's good stuff. Fight goes on for a while. We save the kid. We get what's her name? What is the white Alpha Flight member's
Snowbird.
name? Snowbird. Thank you.
Snowbird.
For life of me, I can never commit the names of Alpha Flight to my head. Oh my god, it's close again, but now it's in a different part of Jennifer Lawrence's face. It's the nose and mouth, and it's Snowbird turns into a beast that can take on the Wendigo, one that she cannot control when she is the form of this other beast.
It's almost like we're trying to do some later parallels to what just happened with Jean. I wonder.
Yeah.
Like again, that's why I do like this story quite a lot. Like,
it's a good story. I enjoy it.
It's a good story. It's the we're still doing a lot of the fallout before we move on to.
And even when we're doing these lower stakes stories that aren't quite literally universe ending, we can still say things about our characters and what they're going through and the fallout of things that have happened before and tease things that are to come. So it's nice. But eventually getting Snowbird to change back.
And then getting Wendigo to change back into a human form, and he's under arrest, and that's where we end with obviously some teases.
We part ways with Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight is no longer backed by the Canadian government, it seems. And then we also start teasing other things to come with X-Men as the Blob escapes prison, and that is the end of the issue. There's one other thing that is included in Volume 5, though, and that is Bizarre Adventures number 27.
Yes.
A story from Bizarre Adventures 27.
A story, because it is actually 3 stories. The Omni includes all 3, the entire issue.
But of course, the one that we're here to talk about is the one called Phoenix. It's about Jean Grey's sister. And it's this great little story of her fears, like being a relative of Jean Grey, and that unsure nature of like being related to someone who is a mutant, and how that might affect the rest of their family. And it's just a great little human story. It's a flashback to a time when Jean and her sister were like out together, and like how her powers saved them, and her sister being like worried about her kids and how the mutation might affect them somewhere down the line. This eventual sort of resolve of like mutation is a good thing, that like Jean's powers are good whether they whether they affect the rest of the family or not. It's nice. It's
Cockrum is the one doing the art.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And what's nice is there's no. I'm guessing Bizarre. I think Bizarre Adventures probably wasn't. I'm guessing the entire series was just printed in black and white.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's a lot of great uses of shadow, just because there aren't colors.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's really good. It's good. There's a lot. It's almost like this is my favorite volume so far. Like
yeah. Oh, it's the best. Yeah, hands down, it's the best, easily.
I don't know if Claremont's going to be able to top it next time. Honestly, like.
Well, thankfully, you don't have to follow it up immediately, and you'll have time between, because we're not continuing.
Yes,
time.
That's good.
So,
it's a terrible thing of. It's a terrible thing of. You have, like I said, there's just that's one of the things that's going through my mind was you have the massive Dark Phoenix saga, iconic story. Days of Future Past, like 3 issues later, iconic story.
Mm-hmm.
And in between, just those tiny little stories that I think are like the cherry on top of what makes the run so special.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm glad we're committed to doing the entire run and not just trying to pick out like here are some of the big stories, like the early stuff and the original like Phoenix Saga and then the Dark Phoenix Saga. It's like, no, let's do it all. It was all there for a reason.
Yeah. I do have to ask Jacob. You know the cover of 141, right?
Yeah, it's the iconic one.
Such a good cover. I just need to know if you'd seen it before. Oh, it's so good.
I have seen it. Yeah,
Such a
because
gorgeous
I
cover.
originally because around the time when Days of Future Past the movie came out, I thought, oh, maybe I'll try to read Days of Future Past. I didn't. I
Of
didn't
course
buy
you
a
did.
copy, but I'd seen
I
it.
mean, hey, that's a good thing actually, because that means when you do get around to reading it, it'll be your first time. So,
But I was like, what I did is I think for whatever reason, Days of Future Past was not available in print in 2014,
who
or
could have foreseen such a thing happening?
when the giant movie adaptation of Days of Future Past was coming out.
That is something that Marvel has legitimately gotten better at in recent years. Like, at least if they're adapting a story that they're explicit about, like them adapting, then they'll reprint the story. Like,
Oh, that's good. Did they do that for
well, like they reprinted Daredevil Born Again recently when the first season of that came out.
Yes.
Despite the fact that Daredevil Born Again as a show isn't actually adapting the Born Again story, it's just taking the title, like
name. Also, Daredevil Born Again is one of those volumes that I don't think is ever out. It's one of the few things that Marvel actually keeps in print.
Yeah, Daredevil Born Again was also already adapted into Daredevil season 3. So like I never got the decision to call the new show Daredevil Born Again, but whatever.
See, if we give it a new title, that means we don't label it a season 4, so we get out of having to pay our actors what they're worth. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Oh yeah, that's
like
exactly
when they
it. Yeah.
Like that is something I know Disney has done a lot of.
Andrew, is this your favorite volume by chance? I'm curious so far.
Dark Phoenix? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. It's my favorite. The Dark Phoenix part specifically is my favorite comic story.
Oh,
like,
damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of my favorite run. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here to talk about it with us today.
So it's for you. It's all downhill after this.
That's what Andrew's really trying to say. He's trying to say that everything coming after this is worse than what we read today.
No, don't spin my positivity into negativity. I love most of Claremont's run. It's just this is like the highest point for me.
Well,
thank you,
Jennifer Lawrence's Mouth, for sharing such an
opinion
with us.
You're welcome.
Oh God. No. Fuck. We did also watch, if it wasn't apparent, or I didn't, because I don't want to put myself through that again. Jacob watched some adapted material for this episode.
You made me. I am the only one who watched both of these movies.
Jacob, I have seen Last Stand and Dark Phoenix multiple times. I don't think I need to rewatch them.
Oh my God. Okay, so
I'm the bad guy for watching Last Stand so many times.
I watched Dark Phoenix for the third time.
But when Joey does it,
bastard! This is abuse.
Jacob, I've seen Dark Phoenix 3 times. That's far worse than you just having watched it recently once. Like, come on.
You should have suffered with me.
Jacob, I suffered enough with you last night with that double feature on Letterboxd.
This is true. Shay was convinced we were covering that for the podcast for some reason.
Oh God, no.
I'm like, no, Shay, we were celebrating Halloween. It was a mistake.
Never.
Well, yeah. Next year we're doing the miniseries. I don't care. Because at least that one we can have fun with. And it's surprisingly significantly shorter than those movies.
It's true. God.
To stay on topic of Last Stand and Dark Phoenix,
not good.
Neither of them are good. Like, they are both really bad. What's from The Last Stand? Other than just the problems of it literally decides to make Jean Grey a sexy lamp.
Oh, what is that? What is that new picture, Andrew? What is that? I can see it's Ian McKellen, but
it's smooth CG Ian McKellen from The Last Stand.
Is it de-aged Ian
McKellen?
Oh
God, it is! Yeah. It is! Fuck! Oh no! Oh God! Oh no!
What's so weird about The Last Stand is the cast it has is a genuinely charismatic cast. Like, the previous two films, like, they mostly gel. First film, Halle Berry is overdubbed by herself, and that explains so much of why I was like, why is her delivery so weird? It's like, oh, she's having to dub over herself because they decided she needed to have an American accent.
Yeah.
Thank you, producers, for that decision.
Yeah.
But, like, Last Stand, the entire cast, except Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and Kelsey Grammer, are stilted as all hell. Like,
and look, I know Bryan Singer's a piece of shit, but the reason is they lost Bryan Singer, and the cast just doesn't gel as well without him. And like, and now Andrew's picture is a close up of Ian McKellen's mouth.
it's
Anyway,
so like it doesn't gel as well. Here's the thing, I think that cast could gel as well under a different director. Like,
oh, I mean, yeah, they clearly do in other.
I think the problem isn't that Bryan Singer's gone. It's that they replaced him with Brett Ratner, and I don't think Brett Ratner's all that great a director. Like a lot of the direction is genuinely quite poor. They also don't know what they want to do with Magneto, so they combine the Dark Phoenix saga, according to Wikipedia, with the first arc of Joss Whedon's run on X-Men. Like,
Yeah.
Which that's a whole other can of worms. But like the entire film is setting up a mutant genocide.
Mhm.
But Magneto's a villain, and it's like, he's right though.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where Magneto is right. Like,
But to make him wrong, they have him quote Hitler.
Yeah.
While also acknowledging that he's a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah, it's disgusting. It's so bad. Oh man. Oh, that sucks.
It is neoliberal politics. Like that is it's such a neoliberal script of like, we want to both sides are bad, and not in like a, say, the current state of Israel and Zionism is a regime built on fascism, but in any sort of violent resistance to genocide is as bad as Hitler. That is the framing. Because it's like, no, like Kelsey Grammer Beast and Charles Xavier, when Charles Xavier's in the movie and isn't dead or taking over the body of his brother, I guess, at the end. That's what happens at the end.
Yep.
Side note for that, it is quite literally, no, we must do with the government, and they aren't going to genocide. Never mind that they like half of the guns shoot the cure into people. Like, that is just a thing that happens in the movie. It's like, oh, see, and also like, it doesn't want to examine what a mutant cure would mean for like mutants who have destructive powers like Rogue, because it decides, no, Rogue is being silly until the very, very end, where she gets the cure and is actually happy for it. Because it's like, that's actually your allegory doesn't. It's the terrible problem of your allegory for a marginalized group doesn't entirely work if that allegory also has the potential to harm people inherently just by their existence, whereas marginalized groups don't harm people by their existence. Like, it's the limits of allegory, and it does not work. And Famke Janssen as Jean Grey is quite literally just a sexy lamp.
Is so hot, Jacob. She's so hot.
Sure, but she gets maybe like 20 lines in most of the film. Like, that's it.
True. That's true.
They do not even give her lines, and it's like lines, and it's so clear that Ratner does not give her any direction on like what her character's supposed to be going through. She's quite literally just a tool to be used by Magneto, who I guess is in the Jason Wingard role.
I just remembered. I watched a Brett Ratner movie this past spooky season, and it was really good. Red Dragon. It's so good.
Interesting.
It's so good.
But also, like, you can also tell that like both Hugh Jackman and Halle Berry are struggling with the fact that they are given half of James Marsden's lines and like split between them.
Yeah,
and they're like,
oh yeah, you could just tell that James Marsden was written out so last minute. It's fucking insane.
And that hurts. They kill off Charles Xavier.
Yep. But then they don't. But they don't actually.
But they don't actually.
Yeah.
And that never gets followed up on, I don't think. But then
tell me a little bit about Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, just in so many ways, it's the same goddamn movie as Last Stand. Like, I'll at the very least say, the inciting incident of the X-Men going into space, and that's how Jean gets the Phoenix energy. I think that's actually solid. Like,
you know what's fucked up is they make the inciting incident of that movie the start of Jean becoming the Phoenix in the comics, and then they skip straight to the Dark Phoenix stuff in the movie.
Yes. It's just that she's evil immediately, and it's like, um, you skipped from skipped from inciting incident to climax. Like,
yeah,
you got a rising action. It does help at least. Like, here's the thing: it has about the same amount of problems as Last Stand. Shocker that a film scripted by the same guy that wrote Last Stand and directed by that man has a lot of the same problems. Luckily, however, I do think the cast fares better. Genuinely, like there are at least moments where I'm like,
it's a good cast. Like,
I love this cast.
Yeah, they're so
especially
good.
Especially the young cast. I adore just our like the young team of X-Men. Such a shame that Cody Scott McPhee only played Nightcrawler in like 2 movies proper.
He's so good. He's so good. I love him. The whole cast of the prequel films are just like I know people have a lot of nostalgia for the original cast, and Hugh Jackman's great, of course, but just the new cast is just so much better. I love those guys so much.
But yeah, but again, we have this massive subplot of the world hates mutants again. It's like, hey, this is really taking focus away.
Oh God, what's that amazing line that Jennifer Lawrence has about being an ex-woman?
We've been saving the men. It's something like we've been saving the men so much. We should really call us the ex-women. Again, it's the terrible thing. You can tell. Oh my God, you can tell this was written by a man.
Man, it's so funny. I love it.
And it's like, hey, do you actually want to criticize Xavier being an egotistical bastard? Because you could do that. Like,
because they should. I mean, it does kind of. It does kind of.
But
there's also that amazing moment. There's also that amazing moment that ends Dark Phoenix because they know it's going to be. You kind of see the writing on the wall that they know it's going to be like the last mainline X-Men movie before Disney takes over. And so they end on the "Does it ever scare you" scene for like the 3rd time in this fucking franchise.
Yeah.
I feel a great swell of pity.
And they wanted this to be the first film in a new trilogy. Like,
yeah,
they wanted to split Dark. Apparently, they wanted to split Dark Phoenix in 2, but like,
yeah, I mean, giving the story more time to breathe is, I suppose, the first step into fixing the problem. You need about 10 other steps after that, but I mean, it would be a step in the right direction.
I mean, I'd argue Dark Phoenix is, I suppose, a step in the right direction.
It is. It is a marginally better movie than The Last Stand.
I mean, but it also does the thing of like, I guess, again, we open with Jean Grey killing her mother as she gets her powers. Why? Her dad abandoning her as a big twist in the film, which I also just really don't like. It's like, I'm like, hey, I like that you're trying to do Phoenix as trauma, but you're not.
Oh, who plays her dad in that movie? I feel like it's somebody I know, and I remember calling it out last time I watched it.
I don't remember.
Hang on. I got this. It was somebody interesting, or at least somebody that I found interesting to be in the movie.
Scott Shepherd.
Scott Shepherd. Who is that? Oh, yes, I had seen. Yes, he was in El Camino, and he was in something else that I watched around that time.
Would it have been Killers of the Flower Moon? Maybe no.
I've never seen Killers of the Flower Moon.
You should. It's really good.
Oh, he was in. That's right. He was David in the HBO Last of Us. That's right. He was so good at that.
Also, I now I'm just looking at the cast really briefly. I never remembered. Oh, right. They do aliens in this one, but it's specifically a survivor of the race that the Phoenix kills, who are genocided before Jean becomes Phoenix. Like,
oh, did you catch Dazzler there for 2 seconds?
Oh yes, I caught Dazzler. I was like, hey, look, it's Dazzler.
Hey, look, they're finally doing Dazzler. Oh man,
Are they going to do
amazing.
Dazzler? Oh wait, no, they're not doing Dazzler.
Nope,
at all.
she's just
Okay.
there. She's just there.
Like,
What a movie! What a movie!
and apparently, if they had two movies, we would have totally done the Hellfire Club. I'm like, would you? Would you?
I mean, maybe they would have. Maybe they would have.
And we would have done Lilandra. Would you? There was nothing stopping you from putting Lilandra in this movie.
Yeah, especially if they're going all in on the alien shit. But
yeah,
whatever.
Why did you adapt the Hellfire Club as alien victim? And again, it's like you don't understand why the story works, and the story works because Claremont is making a comment on what happens to women. Like that's a lot of where the trauma comes from. It's that's the metaphor is assault. It's not women gaining power, I guess, which is like what both movies try to read the Phoenix as oh no, women get power, so we have to stop them in weird, wild ways. They're both bad. They're terrible. Hans Zimmer does the score of Dark Phoenix, and it is maybe the most bland Hans Zimmer has ever Hans Zimmered.
I think it was I always think it was just like it was just a very last minute job for him. But
maybe
yeah. But that was that.
Time.
That was
maybe
that.
when Disney inevitably does it, or something.
Andrew, you should still watch Dark Phoenix and send in like a clip after you watch it, and I could include it in the next episode.
Yes.
Oh no, I'll probably watch it at some point. I need to put myself through that as repentance for my last stand defense all these years.
That's true. Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
But I think it's time we move on to other things on the podcast. What other things you may ask? Well, we're about to find out. Jacob, Andrew, what would we like to guess? What do we think is coming up next time on Fresh Face Comics?
Andrew, what do you think is coming up next time on Fresh Face Comics? I'd like to throw it to the guest
Okay.
first.
So it's a Marvel block, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's going to be a block of Marvel for a bit. I'm assuming you guys are going to revisit Hulk.
Ooh, okay, interesting. I will say, Jacob does know it's something new that we have not covered before.
Okay, so maybe Blade.
Blade. Ooh, that's an interesting guess. Okay.
See, that's interesting where your mind's at. My guess, are we doing Moon Knight? Like Moon Knight or Iron Fist? Those are the two where my brains are somewhere, but I'm like, I don't think it's Iron Fist because I don't think we're gonna go back earlier in the 70s. But we might, I don't know.
You sound so flustered at this, Jacob. You sound like you actually drew a complete blank on this guess, and I like when that happens because I like when I get to tell both of you, but Jacob especially, that you're wrong, and that I get to reveal something else entirely.
Okay, what are we doing?
Next time on Fresh Face Comics, I think it's time at long last that we put a female character front and center in the Marvel block. Let's talk about Alias.
Okay, so it is Jessica Jones.
Yeah, we're gonna Jessica Jones. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay. Interesting. Fascinating. Yeah. That'll be. Oh, so we are just jumping to the 2000s, right?
Yeah, we're gonna jump way forward. To be fair, like 2001, I think. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, oh, weird Marvel in the 90s. How you are something that we are dancing around.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
It's almost like something happened. It's just like something happened at DC in 1993 that Marvel decided to emulate in Spider-Man.
Oh man, you shouldn't have said that around Andrew, Jacob. You
still waiting for that. Yep. So next week we'll be doing the Clone Saga.
Yes, next week we're starting the Clone Saga. Absolutely. But no, we're gonna do next two episodes are gonna be Alias Volume 1 and Alias Volume 2. Volume 1 is issues 1 through 9, and Volume 2 is 11 through 15. Issue 10 doesn't get included, I think, until Volume 3. So, but yeah, we'll be talking about Alias next time. I'm very excited about it, and we might just have potentially, if we can swing it, possibly 2 guests, if not definitely 1. So we'll see where that all goes. I think let's start closing things out though. Jacob, what do you have going on? Or actually, no, start with Andrew. Andrew, what do you have?
Yeah, start with Andrew.
Anything you'd like to promote?
All right. Yeah, just my Blue Sky at Andrew Doing Art.
Awesome. Yeah, I will absolutely have your Blue Sky in the description. I know I mentioned it last time, but I would just like to reiterate again that just your art is so good, and everybody should be checking it out, and just going to the link below because it'll be down there. And yeah, just follow Andrew on Blue Sky. And Jacob, what do you have going on?
I mostly have my blog where I very recently did a review of Star Wars: The High Republic: The Eye of Darkness. Um,
Banger.
I will have. It was really good. Coming soon. Can't remember the name of the book that I'm reading. The Star Wars book I'm reading. It's coming probably in the next 2 weeks. Defy the Storm is the next High Republic book that I will probably be reviewing. Most likely, I haven't actually started it yet. Also, by the time this is out, I will have just in my initial watch of Star Trek: The Next Generation have done Who Watches the Watchers.
Another banger. Another
banger.
Wait, have you watched it? You might have actually. Have you?
I have not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
I had to clean up this morning after last night because there was so many crumbs and I had to do laundry and I haven't had the chance to sit down yet.
Okay, then.
We had a fun Halloween, so I just didn't get to it. Good time. Yeah.
Similarly, on Blood Studios, me and my brother have been reviewing Star Trek: The Next Generation. We also have a review out for currently right now, The Survivors. But also, if you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Blood Studios, you can get our early access to our next review for Who Watches the Watchers. It's a great episode. And check that out there at the ensign or lieutenant tier. You also on our Patreon, you can also get exclusive Star Trek commentaries. At the time of this coming out, we are between the Menagerie Part 1 and 2. We have 11 TOS commentaries out right now. There's a lot there. There are literally hours of exclusive Blood Donut Studios content, not just Star Trek things, but Fresh Face Extras. It's even more of the podcast you're listening to right now. If you like the things we do, you can join at any of the tiers, Cadet, Ensign, or Lieutenant. Any and all support goes a long way, and it just goes to show that you like what you're listening to and that you support us. And I mean, of course, general support tier is there. But of course, if you can't do any of that, the subscribe button goes a long way. The follow button, wherever you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Blood Donut Studios. All of that support truly does mean the world to us. And commenting, liking, sharing things around also goes a long way. Also in Blood Donut Studios, we also do Fresh Face one-shots. We cover current comics coming out right now. We cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman, the spin-off of Wonder Woman. We have recently finished covering Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. That review just came out yesterday at the time of this episode coming out. So check that out right now. We're also covering Batman by Matt Fraction, as well as DCKO, the current DC Comics event coming out right now. We are covering The Unbreakable X-Men by Gail Simone, and that'll be going back into Uncanny come January. We'll be covering more of that when that is out. What else? R2BD, our Star Wars show that I do with my brother. At the time that's coming out, we have our most recent episode is Rebel Jail. Rebel Jail. That's the one that's out. Is Volume 3 of Star Wars by Jason Aaron. It's so good. And then we're gonna have our next video out on Darth Vader: The Shu-Torun War, which is Darth Vader by Kieran Gillen. It's another great volume, probably my favorite volume of that whole Vader run. It's been a great time. We have a lot of episodes pre-recorded, so lots of the backlog, lots of R2BD coming out soon. I think that about does it, though. As always, our link trees will be down below. You can follow us wherever you want to follow us. Follow Andrew's Blue Sky. My link tree is there. Jacob's link tree is there. And support goes such a long way. But I think that about does it. Thank you all so much for listening. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan,
Jacob Licklider,
and Andrew.
Andrew, say goodbye.
Oh, and Andrew, bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.